Hello, my name is Ashley, this is Faithful Rattos, and welcome back. So today's video is going to be a little bit bitty and a little bit choppy, I think. I have a to-do list that I need to get done before tomorrow because we are going to the MRC Summer Show, which is very exciting. It's our one Sunday show of the year. And I'm taking all my babies from the current litters, and I have lots of things I need to do to get ready for that show. So I've already cleaned their tails, and I'll insert that clip here. So I don't usually do this before shows because my rats are usually very, very clean. But for some reason, these baby girls have really, really mucky tails. So I'm just, with a bit of, I think it's purple shampoo. It was just a Showtime cleaner, like tail cleaner that I got. I'm basically just taking warm water with that mixed in, and I'm just scrubbing the tail a little bit with a toothbrush. I'm just going downwards because otherwise that will disrupt the scales. And as I said, I don't generally need to do this because my rats generally don't have really dirty tails, but these baby girls for some reason have dirty tails. And so Saori and her sister, and probably the younger ones too, have to get their tail cleaned. I like to, if they want to wiggle around, I like to let them do that and then bring them back. It'd be beneficial if you were on the towel, chicken. Yes, it would. I need to make sure all of their nails are trimmed. I need to sort out the tanks and the food and the water sources for the tanks. I'm going to make mix now because this is how much mix I've got left. And with 25 rats currently, food just disappears. I've got to check on the sprouting seeds for the birds. I've also got to change the water that the bones are macerating in, and also pack all my stuff ready for the show. So I'm going to get on with making mix whilst I chat to you about some updates that have been going on recently. So first things first, when it comes to mix, I have found a couple of new base mixes that I will be adding into my sort of rotation of base mixes. The first is the Garvo Rabbit Melange, and I've used this previously because I won a bag at the last MRC show and I really liked it. I don't have it right now, and I also don't have pigeon mix, which I usually like to add in, but that's okay. We can do with just the rabbit mix and just the horse conditioning mix. I think eventually, when I run out of the rabbit mix I've got now, I'm going to switch to the Rabbit Melange from Garvo because I like it a lot better. I do need to buy some ingredients soon, so I am only going to make, I want to say like a small batch. Usually I would make, so this is my scoop that I use, this glass. This is an IKEA just drinking glass. And I usually make like a 3 times batch. I've been making that recently, especially with the babies, because they eat more than adults do. But I'm not sure. I think I might make a double batch because some of my ingredients I'm low on, and I want to buy the Rabbit Melange or the pigeon mix to add into the mix. So I don't want, and I don't, you know, anyway. I don't want to make too much of this without it. It's fine without it, but I prefer it with, so yeah. And I also, because I just didn't have time to order online the usual dog food that I put in the mix, I decided to try out this one. This is the Pooch and Mutt Adult Dog. It's got chicken, sweet potato and pumpkin. Looking at the ingredients, chicken and sweet potatoes are like it's very good in terms of something you can buy at the supermarket with the named ingredients. And the percentage of protein is 27, which is kind of the range that you want for making mix. However, I will say the pieces are really big. This is like 4 times the size of the dog food that I usually use, so less than ideal. And that's another reason I have a bunch of stuff to do. So let's get into it. So the first thing to update you on is a bit of a sad update, and that is that we have lost a couple of rats recently, sadly. We lost Toast last week. I made a whole video about that, so I don't really need to go into detail, but that was kind of a big hard loss. And we lost Serafina about a month and a half ago, because of lots. She had a big external mammary tumour and 2 internal tumours as well. It was just not a good situation. And then we lost Marissa on Wednesday. I'm filming this on Saturday, because she had pneumonia and she couldn't win. I gave it a go because she was young and healthy otherwise. Obviously not very healthy because of the pneumonia, but I wanted to give her a chance, and it just wasn't to be. And so yeah, we've had a lot of losses here recently, which have been quite hard to deal with. But that is how it is when it comes to rat keeping. With Marissa, what has really upset me is that she's not going to be able to meet her grandchildren, which I currently have. Obviously Lyra's kids, so my older kittens are Marissa's grandchildren, because Lyra is Marissa's daughter. So yeah, I'm quite sad about that. But let's get on with the mix. So I think this is the Mr. Johnson's No Pellet Rabbit mix that I use, and I think this is generally pretty fine. So I'm gonna do, let's see how many I can get out of this. And then I have this horse conditioning mix. I think this one is Pegasus, but I'm not 100% sure. So I want 7.5 of this as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've only got a little bit left of this bag, and rather than just leave it, I'm going to add it in. That is base mix. Now onto processed grains. I have a mixture of shredded wheat, Sainsbury's own Rice Krispies, and popcorn. I also have 4 different types of pasta and 2 different types of Rivita. So what I'm going to do is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to do 2 scoops of this, and then I'll work out the other ones in a second. 2. I'm going to do 1 scoop of the spelt fusilli. I like the Sainsbury's pastas because there's a lot of like novel grain pastas that they do, so that we're not doing too much wheat. So 1 of the spelt fusilli, 1 of the brown rice fusilli. Don't ask me why they're in like completely different style bags. I do not know. So that's 4. Then I've got this like multicoloured pasta that Rat Dad wanted to use. So we'll do 1 of those. And then I'm going to do 1/2 cup of the, what do they call it? Stars. It's basically like pastini. Just tiny little bits of pasta. I'm going to do 1/2 cup of this. And then I'm going to do 1 cup worth of each of the Rivita. I'll probably do a show update at the end of this as well, so you will meet them. But we are going to be doing intros after the show, which is exciting. We did have to neuter Burdock, which was unfortunate, but there was just a handful of incidences and reasons that happened that sort of all worked out together to be like, this would be better for the group and for everyone else, especially needing to introduce babies into the book group. I just went ahead and did that. But he also has a healing ulcer on his eye, which my vet thinks he got during a fight because of the aggression, and he also currently has a little bit of an abscess going on, so we are watching that. yeah, that is the update on Burdock, and intros are going to be coming on soon, so I'm just going to finish off making my mix, and then I'll see you in the next clip. Bye. Very exciting news from today's show. Somebody won Best in Show. Yes, you did, Star Maria. Yes, you did. So, I am going to do a little sit-down clip and tell you about what happened at the show, because it was very, very exciting. But I did want to show you some of the things that I did yesterday, and that I mentioned to you that I didn't get a chance to show you. So, ignore all the stuff on the table, but we have here the bones that I'm cleaning. I am making a video. They still need to be macerated. So, this one is pretty clean. I think this one is Maccabee, but everybody else needs further cleaning, so I'll get that done today, and there will be a video coming on the whole process. And then these are the seeds that I am sprouting for the birds, so try and get them to eat more vegetables, because they do love their seeds, and I'm hoping that this is similar enough, like, to the seeds they're used to eating, that they'll try them. So that's what's going on in here. Cheers. So, we have intros. We're starting out with just Burdock back to the adults. Just so if anything does happen with Burdock or anyone else surrounding a Burdock, that is, the babies are not involved. I think that is a smart move. We're giving them about 45 minutes, an hour to see how they behave. They have only just gone in here. And then I will add in the babies afterwards. So, I have added the babies in. One of them's here, this is Linguini. And, yeah, we did have a bit of an altercation with Bridges, but we managed to settle him down. So I think we should be fine for now, fingers crossed. But given that happened, I am going to take things super slowly with this group. But they are mostly related. Like, there's only Itchy, who's not related at all to the rats in here. So we should be okay, and yeah, I'm gonna go now and film the last clip of this video. Okie dokie, so this is gonna be the last clip in this, what turned out to be a vlog. I don't know, I know this video is going to be a little bit bitty, stoppy-starty, kind of all over the place, but that's what life is like as a rat keeper. So, as you saw from the previous clips, my baby boys are now in intros to the main group, and Burdock, who recently got neutered, is in the group too. So, fingers crossed, we continue this going well. We did have a little bit of a hiccup with Bridges, but he definitely seems much calmer now, and he doesn't seem like he's going to cause any further problems, and that can happen. And I do like to remind people that during intros, sometimes you can see aggression and concerning behaviors, but sometimes they just need to get out of their system and then they're okay. Sometimes they need just a little, like, 5-10 minutes to chillax and calm down, and then they're okay. I'm gonna, as I said, I'm gonna take this intro very slowly because I don't want anything bad to happen, but I'm sure they will be absolutely okay. Now I am going to talk about yesterday. We went to the show and it was really, really great. I had such a wonderful time, even though it was exhausting. We had over 80 rats in the variety section, which is a lot, and I was playing catch up with rearranging them as I came in a little bit later. What? I'm here right now. Look who's next to Mrs. Shockage. Oh! It could be hers. Oh my god. That looks young.
Mm-hmm.
The feathers look a bit dishevelled.
Mm-hmm. That could be hers.
Oh, hopefully they have another one.
Yeah, they used to be. They have two, and they're both grey. That's your DNA question.
Yeah. Sorry, very excitingly, on our balcony, we have two feral town pigeons that have been visiting us for a couple of months. And we used to see them together. And the past, I want to say, month or so, it's only been one of them. And so we were hoping, fingers crossed, that we had babies. And we think we saw a baby on the balcony. Obviously, when birds fledge, typically pigeons, they're not super different to the adults when they fledge, but fingers crossed. So we have one that I think is a checkered. I think that's what it's called. Like, she has black and grey, like lots of little black and grey markings on her wings. And then we have another one that is solid, but he's brown. And we were just discussing that maybe if both of the babies aren't brown, because usually they have one or two eggs, that means that probably the brown is recessive, which is just interesting to me. Anyway, let's get back onto the show. So yeah, it was a very, very busy day, but I had a really great time, and I wasn't expecting this to happen. But my little Stella Maria, my golden Siamese / Himmy, which is kind of how I enter them, because generally when you enter rats in a show, they are being judged on phenotype, which is how they look, not on their genotype. And if your rat fits a different standard better, go right ahead and put it into that standard. So she got best golden Himalayan, she got best shaded, she got best in show, and she got best novice, and she also got best rare variety. But we don't have a rosette for that. But yeah, she did so well, and the judge absolutely loved her. Like, obviously I was there helping out because I was stewarding, so I got to sort of see how the rats were spoken about. But there was a couple of rats, most of them that actually made it into the top 4, were that the judge was really enamored by, and she was one of them. And the judge happens to be the breeder I got my foundations from, so I'm just really happy that she likes what I'm doing with her line, because she doesn't breed anymore, she doesn't have any rats anymore. And I think, I'm getting a bit emotional about this, but I think it's really nice that I'm continuing her line, and she approves, like she thinks they're good. The other rats she liked too, they didn't get like horrible critiques, really. I asked her to look at my others, the ones that don't have a standard, so can't be in varieties, and so she said they're nice little rats, they should come on nicely. So I'm really happy and excited about that, because it's such a big deal, and it's my first time to win Best in Show. I've won Reserve Best in Show twice. Porter's won it and Sophie's won it. But yeah, this is really nice. And also, technically, this is one win towards what could be my stud name achievement. So I'm so happy about that. And obviously, we lost Marissa last Wednesday. And Marissa is Stella Maria's granny, and she looks very much like her granny. And it just feels really special to me that she was able to do that she was able to, yeah, it's very emotional, specifically this week. But I'm really happy and excited about it. She also got stars, so she's on 2 stars now as well, because this was one of the few starred MRC shows. But yeah, that's the end of the video. I don't really have anything else to say. Today is Monday, so I do have to edit this video today. But yeah, fingers crossed intros continue to go well. Then we'll also start introing the girls once the boys are a little bit far along. I don't really have anything else to say, unless you haven't already been subscribed. Subscribe. I make videos about my rats, sometimes about my budgies. I make vlogs like this one. I talk about my experiences. I make educational videos as well. So yeah, if you are interested, please do stick around, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.